I've been having this issue that I've been trying to work out for literally years. I didn't even realize it was a problem until recently, but I have a Behringer Behritone speaker, which is a Auratone replica for the purposes of, monitoring in mono. So the problem is, how do you get a stereo mix into this? Because it has an XLR port on the back and a TRS port, and if you use a single TRS cable coming out of the back of this thing with an output, then that will be mono balanced. So there's no stereo. So then when you pan something to the side, you won't even hear it. Like if you pan over to the right channel, you won't hear it at all. And obviously that's going to give you a really messed up mix, which is not what you're intending to do. So somebody on the internet recommended that you use the headphone port. So I did that for a long time without realizing that it was just nonsense, because that does run through TRS, 1/4 inch there, and that is stereo, but that's stereo unbalanced. And not that I'm worried sick about it being balanced, but the problem is the Behritone is expecting a balanced signal if you put a TRS cable in there. So what it's going to do, I don't want to get into the theory of that so much, but what it's going to do is take what it thinks is a positive and a negative signal and flip the polarity of one so that it reinforces the signal while removing the noise. So that's not what this is doing. This is not giving you a positive and a negative, it's giving you a left and a right. So when you have it running into that, it's still flipping the polarity of one, which is going to cancel out everything that the two channels have in common, which means that all you're going to get is the out of phase stereo. So you won't get any center channel. Like if your kick's right up the middle, you won't hear it at all. Snare, whatever. And so yeah, I was having some crazy mix problems. So what I had to do was sum to mono within Pro Tools and go into the I/O. Alright, so within the I/O, on the back of the Saffire, there's like 10 outputs or something. So I clicked on one and hit new subpath. I went ahead and did it on 3 because the first two are the main monitor outs, left and right. Named it mono 1, so that's routed through output 3. And I use a stereo auxiliary track for my stereo mix bus. And then I created another stereo auxiliary track. So I set the input to be this mono bus. I have a mono bus send coming off of my regular mix track. Alright, so this is a stereo send, and I set it to pre-fader, which is important because that way you can just mix this one here, or excuse me, mute this mix track here, and you can still hear this one. So for a listening demonstration, it's not going to be that dramatic on the phone because this just has a single mono microphone, so you're not going to be able to detect the differences as extremely as you could in person. But so when this is playing, this is our stereo mix here. This is the JBL speakers. Okay. Alright. And then if I mute, now I'm not hearing that at all. All we're hearing is this. That's our mono mix. And you can pan stuff around and still hear it perfectly fine. But that still didn't completely fix the problem, even though in theory it should. So the last thing I had to do was go to the line output and set that to DAW 3. If you have it set to the regular mix, that's going to cause problems. And then you got to make sure that this part here is blue. And that's it.